Welcome back, everyone. It's Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, here with another video. It is Dark Seal time, that wonderful time of the month where we get to figure out how matchmaking went and who's going to be feeling the cramps today. Down here in our region, in Battlefield 23, we are up against regions 151 and 180. Shout out to the person on YouTube who pointed out that I was in the same region, battlefield as them, so definitely looking forward to having a little bit of fun down here in Battlefield 23. Hopefully things end up interesting for us. But let's go take a look at the top 5 regions and see how handpicked they are and who gets screwed. 4 and 10, that's pretty standard. I believe that's Boone and ANCS, which not a bad matchup, to be perfectly honest, despite the strength difference. I think that'll be interesting to see. I feel for Region 8 right now. Again, they just picked the region who they deemed has kicked puppies in the past life. On to Battlefield 2, we have 16 and 102. If I remember correctly, 102 is ROK. Yeah, I was going to say, we just fought with them in Archipelago Raid, so we know what they're up against there. That being said, it'll be interesting. Not Top Commander, you idiot. It'll be interesting to see how that battlefield turns out, being up against 16. 22, kind of just there. I really feel bad for how this works out. Honestly, they need to just have 2 region battlefields up here for those kind of fights, because I know they're willing to do it down here. Why can't they do it up there too? Just like have those 2 regions duke it out instead of both of these regions. Both of these regions likely coming to 22 and beating the crap out of each other. That's just... Anyways, Battlefield 3, we have 96 versus... Why? What? 96 is DHX. They just had a hell of a fight in Archipelago Raid, and they're pitted up against 2 regions that barely add up to their current power. What is wrong with this game? Anyways. But there won't be much going on here. I guess DHX needed a break, and they're getting it. Anyways, on to the next one. We have 26, which is, if I remember correctly, BTW. Forgive me, yeah. My number memory is off today. Usually I'm good with that stuff. Anyways, we've got Battlefield 4, Region 26 versus 17 and 98. I don't think 17 is really going to do much. 98 is HAO, which has had some really great showings in these PvP events lately. So, be interesting to see how they fare against BTW. I do think that'll be an interesting fight. And to round out the top 5, we have 20, 41, and 120. That's... Just to go ahead and look at these. 20 consists of X-War, which does do fairly well. They have great cohesion in their alliance members, but it does look like they have mostly backed out of this area. They're kind of prepping for Dark Seal, likely taking a break after Archipelago Raid, which can't blame them there. Archipelago Raid was rough this time around for a lot of people, especially the last phase. 41, we've got Mink, who... And I've been watching Mink for a while because a couple of their players, mainly one of them, likes to follow my stream all the time. And it's easy to keep track of an alliance for a very valued follower of mine. So Mink, I imagine, will do fairly well in this if they decide to participate. They do have a lot of people still in the region, so I don't see them having too much trouble. I've seen them fight. They've fought alongside of some heavy hitters before. And then you've got Region 120. I can't remember who 120 is. LTF. I believe we have faced them in the past in an island raid or two. If this is the alliance that I think it is. Legion of the Fenrir. Yeah, I do believe we did face them in one of the last islands that we've had, not Archipelago raid, island. And they do have some power behind some of their players, but I haven't truly seen them fight a lot. If I remember correctly, this was one of the alliances we were up against in the 4v2 in the last island raid that we had. So I think 5 could be an interesting all around fight to see what's going to happen there. And just to see how close the matchmaking gets after Battlefield 5, 13, 15, 16, 13, 15, 15. The algorithm does a fairly good job of keeping the strength of the alliance of the regions down, but of course there's been some people who have been manipulating their strength numbers to the best of their ability in order to try and keep their numbers lower. Kind of like how wrestling matches, they'll keep your weight down as low as possible, and then right after the weigh-in you bulk yourself back up. This number represents the number that they had at reset for matchmaking, and to try and get themselves against weaker opponents. So while these numbers may appear close to those of you who know the truth, it's probably not as fair as you would like. That being said, I hope everyone has a wonderful Darkseal this time around. If you're taking a break from it, I do not blame you. Archipelago Raid is rough on people, and it's just a lot to have to deal with. And if you decide to do this one and not do the next one, since it would be immediately followed by another Archipelago Raid, can't blame you there. I would suggest, if you're on the lower spending side of things, to not participate in every single island raid, or not every single Darkseal, simply because it gets draining after a while. But I digress. But with that being said, that's everything I have for you today. If you have some issues with your matchmaking, please let me know so that we can try and get this kind of stuff out to the developers to see if they can adjust their algorithm a little bit better. But with that, this is Mr. Bray, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, signing off.